All right, perfect timing, friends. I literally just changed out the bobbin and started a new one here. So we'll trim that thread here in just a moment. And let's talk about what's going on. We're getting a nice view now of Karla's quilt that she's created for a friend who loves green. This is Karla's version of a Jacob's ladder, little modified Jacob's ladder. You'll be able to see it when I get it up on the quilting wall, presentation wall. Be sure and check out my Facebook page that has the same name as this, and you'll see lots of pictures of this quilt placed out. Also, if you'd like to send a quilt over to Brenda's quilting studio like Karla did, put something down in the comments. You and I will make a connection. We'll get it taken care of. The process is easy. Karla's having a lovely time. Quilt is having a lovely time up here on the quilting bed, and I know she's going to be delighted with it. Let's talk about a couple things that's going on with her beautiful green quilt right here. When you have a piano keys border, a border with open blocks, a border with triangles that end on it, anything that doesn't just have a straight border added to it, then I implore you to put a little stay stitching. That's the white little line that she's done right here to hold all of these little open seams. That will keep them from coming open when they're in your sewing room, when you're on your domestic machine, when you're moving them around, when you're taking it out to your vehicle to be able to send it over here, when it's hanging on the quilt rack with all these other beautiful quilts that I get to quilt right here, when my sweet honey girl is stitching over her. I'm telling you what, stitch all of that down and that will keep her from having any issues to grab onto. So that is a tip that I really wanted to share with you. Secondly, when you have a minky back, which she has, is super gorgeous and sinkable, what I like to do is scale the design to the size of the quilt. The smaller the quilt, the smaller I'm going to make that design. The larger the quilt, to an extent, the larger I'm going to make it. I'm not going to make it huge, but to some extent I will make it larger if it's a larger quilt. Because it's a minky back, I have made this one stage larger than I would have had it been a regular cotton back, because what I want is for that minky to not get too dense. We have all of the effort of that beautiful minky to be there. We don't want it to make it too tight and too dense because of the quilting that we are putting on there. Batting, I have 5 styles of batting over here at Brenda's quilting studio. This style of batting you can tell front from back, because this one has literally been needle punched. The top of it is kind of like dimples that go downward, allowing the quilt the quilt needle to go down into it easier. It doesn't even have to be a long arm machine or computerized machine. It could be your domestic machine. It could be hand needles that you're going up and down with tying, or it could actually be hand stitching it like our grandmas did, or my mommy still does to this day. And the back side of this batting actually has little pimples that go downward, and that tells the difference between the top and the bottom. Now, if the batting was inside the quilt and you've already done the binding, I'm promising nobody's going to know. But from the long arm point of view, I know which way is the top and bottom on that quilt right there. I have pieced this backing together, and you can go back and look at some other videos that will show better as to how that occurred. And in the process of that happening, you want to be able to have a nice wide seam on your minky, and make sure you're using your walking foot and you're using appropriate tension on there. Lots of tips with putting a minky back together. Have an amazing quilty day.